All right, new week, new video. Let's see what we bought over the weekend. It was a long weekend of community sales and estate sales, and while I didn't buy a single thing at the community sales, the estate sales paid off, I think, in a very big way. Right next door to the first estate sale, someone was having a garage sale. It's pretty smart on their part. Let the estate sale company do all the advertising and bring the customers in. For $2, I grabbed this Mizuno catcher's mitt. I didn't look this one up. For $2, I figured it'd be worth it. I think it's a child's mitt. It's pretty small. So hopefully that one is worth a little bit of money. The rest of these are all from estate sales, and some of them are, you're going to be shocked as to what they're worth. This is Kodak Advantix film. I don't typically buy this. I can't remember what it's even worth, but I do have an Advantix camera that does not have film. And they don't make this anymore. There are a few places that still develop this type of film, but they do charge a premium for that. For $3, I rolled the dice on these two rolls and figured I can just throw them in with the camera that I've got listed currently. Same house had this Olympus Infinity 35mm camera. It's in okay shape. It's got some scuffs and scrapes, and this is another one that I didn't look up. It was only $5, but it looked a little more special than a typical 35mm camera. So I'm not sure what it's worth, but I'll throw a comp up here on the screen. Hopefully it's worth more than $5. There was one estate sale that it was a good one, and all of these came from that. Along with this guy here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's off camera that I'm not going to get to in this video. It's all still sitting in totes. And what I typically do is I'll grab, I'll load the truck up with a bunch of stuff in totes. I'll get a tote or two. I'll put it on the table. I'll go through everything and see, okay, is this going to be listed? Is this going to stay with me, or is this going to go right to the thrift store? And this is the first table I'm working with right now. But like I said, the first estate sale, really, really good stuff here. For next to nothing. You can see the prices, 50 cents. These are some tractors, and it says Husky, I think, on it. And what's interesting is there's these little notes that say what the cars were in each of the bags. And what I originally thought was that the estate sale company took an inventory of all these things and put like what kind of cars they were in each bag to help sell it, but then they only put like 50 cents, $1, $3. And I asked them, I go, did you guys label all these? And they said no. So I don't know if the previous owner bought all these at an estate sale and kind of just threw them in their collection. I don't know. There we go. It's a cool Transformers piece right there. There was a car in here. There were a couple cars that caught my eye, and I can't remember if they're in this or if they're in one of that little pink bin over there. Let's see, $3. There's all sorts of good stuff in there to go through. And I bought this little box too, and I threw them all in the box. I don't typically buy these little strong boxes or lock boxes, but it had the key. And you never see the key with these things. So I figured, was this $1? I can't remember if the price is on it. No, it's gone. I think this was $1 or $2. And I actually bought a few of them because all of them had the keys still attached. So there were about 4 or 5 of these bins, these little buckets here, and they were only 50 cents at the estate sale. And they're all full of toys, which is just crazy to me. Like, I just don't understand how they were this cheap. This piece here is probably from the 80s. It looks really cool. There's a Hot Wheels red line that was in there, and it's got this obvious damage on it, so it's not worth a whole lot of money, but somebody that buys these to repair them or needs the parts for theirs, it's going to be worth it to them. Just obviously not nearly as much as, a really mint copy of a Hot Wheels red line. Like, here's another one in really rough shape. And when I opened these up and I immediately saw like a red line in there. I said, oh, that's it. We're going to take them all and hope for the best. There's also some muscle men sitting in here. Really cool stuff. Here's a Playmobil, however you want to call it. But yeah, all these little bins, these little trash cans had so much random stuff in it. Random action figures. Does Minnie go on that? No, probably not. But I mean, muscle men to Mickey to what's this one? Is this Star Wars? This one looks like Star Wars to me, but I could be wrong. I'll put a comp up on the screen as to what this one's worth. The rest of them, I don't know. What do you guys think these are worth? Leave me a comment. These are pretty rough. This one's even missing a wheel on it. But, I mean, either way, for 50 cents, if there's a piece of a Hot Wheel, a red line in there, I'm probably going to buy it. Continuing on with cheap stuff, I thought these were cool. Kennedy Space Center vintage patches, maybe from the 60s or the 70s. The stack of stickers was only 50 cents, and I've seen these before. These are from the mid 70s, and they're from Wonder Bread. And how it worked was, if you bought certain loaves of Wonder Bread, they had a special label on them and said that they included, one sheet of 2 stickers. You got these inside, and then there was a poster that you can get. On that poster, you had all 50 states that you could put these stickers, and you collect all 50 and label them on the poster. I couldn't find the poster in the house, but I found these little stickers. I've sold them before. They don't have a great sell-through rate, but based on how many are in this pile, I'm hoping I can at least get 2 sets, and I'll just price them cheap to get them moving. Let's take a look at the owl. Now, I don't know what the owl is worth, so I'm going to need your help on this guy right here. It's pretty big. It's about 2 feet tall. It's very heavy. It's plaster. And I looked all around the base here. I couldn't find any markings at all as to, who made this or anything like that. There's a crack right here in the paint, another crack right here. It almost looks like the beak would have been broken off and repaired, but then there's nothing on this side. So I don't think there was any damage. What I did see when I looked some of these up is the talons are broken off, and maybe this is broken off, or part of the ear is broken off. There's some more issues on the back here, some lines, but nothing bad considering its age. I'm guessing this is from the 60s into the 70s, but like I said, I have no clue what this thing is worth. I don't know who makes it, so any help is greatly appreciated. I looked these up, and there's a ton of them online that are all different sizes and shapes, but I haven't been able to find this exact one. Sitting right next to that majestic owl is this random dog head, and the ears kind of chewed off, but what's interesting about this is it's a candle, I think. It's wax. So this was strange enough for me to want to buy. Another thing, I have no clue as to what this is worth, but I think this was only like $2 or $3, and it was funky enough for me to say this is coming home with me, even with the damage on the side there, which is unfortunate. So I don't know, should I list this one, or should I display it, or see how long this candle burns? Because based on the size of this thing, it looks like it's going to burn for the next 3 years. So in this pile right here, there's some old memory, and this is pretty random here, and I'll tell you why I've got this here. This is the Product Recovery and Diagnostics CD for an IBM Aptiva. There's the old software selection CD-ROM, and then you've got Lotus Smart Suite, the Millennium Edition. And all of these other pieces here, these were $1. There was a shelf where it said everything was $1. And I found this Madden Football Limited Edition PC Big Box. I found Flight, not sealed, the top's open right there, but very good condition and 100% complete. And I bought this Quick Cam Pro. I didn't buy this to sell because I don't think these really do that well on their own, but I'll show you why I picked that up. I got a lot going on here. The desk is pretty messy down here, but at this estate sale, I was able to piece together a complete IBM Aptiva minus the monitor for only $14. This tower was $10. And then maybe, 30 feet away in a different cabinet, I found the keyboard for $4, and then they threw the mouse in for free. Now, when I got home, obviously the first thing I did after I unloaded everything was I plugged it in, and it worked. It turned on, it worked great, but it had all the previous owner's information on it. So I wiped that out with that product recovery disk and started with a fresh computer. Look at that internet shopping. Got the internet button right there. That's pretty cool. So 1999 era, running Windows 98. It's not a screaming fast computer by any means, because I think this was a more entry-level budget option. So I can't throw in an old, like a Voodoo graphics card or something crazy into this thing, because I don't think it has a very good power supply. So the power supply I'd have to update, and I might actually do that because this is in really good shape, other than the yellowing, which I can probably fix with a little, soaking this outside in the sun and some hydrogen peroxide. You can see, a little tough to see with the lighting, but it's definitely yellow fade down there. But $14, how can you go wrong with an old school IBM Aptiva? Over here for $5 is the Realist, I think 400 color slide projector. I'm not sure what this is worth, but I picked it up because it came with the original box. And the original box is actually in pretty good shape. And it also has the price on it. So back in the day, you could have bought this for $22.50. It's nice, it's heavy, it's metal. It's when stuff was made really well. But let's take a look at the real money on the table here. At least what I think is going to bring the most money. So this is going to pay for the whole weekend 10 times over and then some. These are all 1950s into the 60s TV guides, quick little pocket magazines, and TV magazines. And these are awesome. These were in a shelf sitting in an estate sale in the attic, and I got them for next to nothing. I didn't really know anything about them. I threw them in my box and I came home. And what I do when I find stuff like this, if it's cheap, I just buy it. If they want a lot of money for them, I'll start looking them up. But what I'll do is I'll type in quick magazine and I'll sort by highest price first and see if there's any that stand out. Here you got Yogi Berra, August 4th, 1952. Really good condition. Another one that's in great shape, Jackie Robinson. This one's from October 6th, 1952. You can see when the light hits it, just incredible condition. This one here it's worth about $60, I want to say. And I'm almost tempted to get it graded because it's just it's incredible. It looks cool. It's small. It's just an interesting piece. You got Marilyn Monroe here. This one in the high end sells for the highest price, I think, was like just over $100, but I'm guessing it's probably worth more, between the $20 and $30 range. You can't talk about Marilyn Monroe without bringing up Mickey Mantle. This one's April 20th, 1953. This one also sells for about $60 and incredible condition, just like the Jackie Robinson over there. The TV guides, another thing I sorted by, I typed in TV guides, sorted by highest first, and well, one of them here is actually the most valuable one. It's not Elvis, it's not Star Trek, it's not this one with Lucille Ball or that Star Trek, and it's not even Walt Disney over here, which I think is a really cool piece here. Unfortunately, a lot of them have this little check mark through the TV guide section up there. Like almost every one has it. But the winner here, we'll get to that in a second. We looked at the quick magazines. Let's take a look at TV magazine. This one here, it's got Spock on it, some Star Trek. This one is currently listed on eBay. A buyer or a seller has it for $250. I couldn't find any sold, so I doubt it's going to bring that kind of money. But the one that stood out the most is this Batman one from 1966. And the original Batman, it did air in January of 1966. This actually has the program listings from February 20th to the 26th. It's got an X on the bottom there, a little tough to see. Another slash on the top for some reason. And when I looked this up, there was an auction that sold back in 2023 for I think around $100. And then there was another one that sold in September. I think it was a buy it now. And that buy it now price was $570. So I don't know what I'm going to list this one at, but it's going to be high because no one else has that one currently listed. Here, look, here's a Lucille Ball with her $8 million baby, and here she is. TV Guide calls it the $50 million baby. Now, this one's in kind of rough shape. It's got not rough. I shouldn't say rough. It's just got some wear and age to it. But this was the very first issue of TV Guide that ever came out. April 3rd, 1953, Volume 1, Number 1. And I can't remember the exact value of this one, but it's the highest, I want to say it's the highest valued TV guide that is currently out there. None of the other ones, unless they're like signed by somebody, are going to bring a lot of money. And I'll throw the comps up here on the screen. And I was shocked that this one was in here, and I was also shocked that the Batman issue was in here because it seemed like all the grails that were either TV Guide or Quick or whatever, the best of the best ones happened to be in these piles. And I'll lot the rest of them up. I'm going to sort through and see if there's any other that stand out, but other than the ones that are very valuable, these still bring a lot of money if you lot them up. I've seen lots of these sell into the hundreds of dollars. So who knows what this whole pile can be worth, but my guess is it's going to be over $1,000 profit in the end. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.